Jackie's Garden. Hello and welcome, my little sprouts. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Jackie's Garden podcast. I want to give a brief disclaimer that my D&D campaign is a homebrew one, meaning that although lore of traditional 5e D&D will be included, there will be some creative flares added to my episodes. Remember that D&D is a creative role-playing game where the only limitations are the ones we set and create. Let's continue to grow, learn, and listen together. Thank you for joining me, and let's get on with the episode.
You guys want to do an initial luck check with your dice that you're gonna do? See how beautiful.
This
Those
one's
are-
bad.
I rolled another one.
No,
You
I'll make
rolled
up for it.
one?
It's two nat ones back to back.
Oh no!
Okay, in my very first D&D campaign that I played, we stopped at a shrine of luck, and our paladin rolled and got a 1. It was the first roll of the whole entire campaign.
Oh,
The whole
Oh.
campaign followed suit after that one.
no.
What was your roll, Mage?
That was an 8.
Was it?
I'm
Oh, good.
sticking with you, Mage.
Oh no!
That's 7 more.
Okay, Maddie and Kisla.
I got a 3.
Oh,
Oh,
I got a nat 20.
hey!
I'm Carrie.
Okay, we're
Okay.
all following Keys.
Willow is carrying the campaign right now.
I
Okay.
love
As it
that
should be.
Rose.
Perfect. Okay. Welcome back to Terrantel, everyone. We have some new players at the table today in substitution for Ben and Hannah, who I hope will be able to join us in a future one-shot because, as I mentioned before, everyone, shit is going down in Terrantel. So whatever one-shots we do run for this campaign will also be beneficial for our main players here. And if any one of my players here would like to do a shameless plug, they are free to do so. And if you would prefer not to share any socials that you have, you can easily give us a username and the name of your character. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go.
Cool.
All right. So my name is Kisla. I play Willow, the halfling wizard. So for Willow, she has long brown hair, put it back into a braid. She wears a typical like mage kind of, or wizard, I technically should say, cloak along with a wizard's hat. Yeah, that's her.
Awesome. And Maddie, do you mind going next?
So my name is Maddie, and I am playing Aelin, a high elf paladin. And I have no shameless plugs because I do nothing.
Incorrect. Actually, Mad Sheep has just started streaming, and you can find them on Twitch under madsheep_ on twitch.tv.
I'm Mage. I play Venn and I am a Twitch streamer where I do like RPG stuff and fantasy stuff, and I also do cooking streams.
And what's your username on those channels?
Oh, it's Chaotic Good Mage.
There you
That's
go.
usually important. I thought I led with that.
Did you
Mage,
say
that's right.
Chaotic Good Mage or did you say Mage?
No, he said Mage.
Okay.
I
Just-
just said
Just
Mage,
search
sorry.
mage, you'll find it.
just
You'll
search
find
Mage.
it. Yeah.
He's the only mage.
Yeah, it's the other mage. No, there's like 3 mages before me.
Oh.
Hmm.
And then finally, Michael.
Hello, I'm Metro Michael, Metro_Michael on Twitch or Metro Mike on TikTok. And I am Hanvil, the adorable tiny gnome.
Awesome. Okay. So thank you, players, for
Daddy
that.
gnome.
Daddy gnome.
What? I'm sorry.
Oh no! Please no.
Is that the nickname? Is that what we call you?
No.
No.
It
Immediate
is
regret.
now.
No,
It is
no,
now.
It's canon.
yes,
It's canon.
no.
It's canon now.
It's
I
canon.
regret my choices.
Okay, so now that we've done our introductions, let's do a little episode recap. Okay, everyone. Last we left off, our team of adventurers came across an unfortunate sight, seeing Alicia's body at the foot of a mutated creature they later found out to be called Rorik. Rolling exceptionally high on insight, Aelin determined that the creature was an unaligned monster, of which tried to help free Alicia from a demonic contract that required her life, but she wasn't the one who agreed to the deal. Releasing her from the curse, the team took a moment to bury the body in the forest and witnessed a magical transformation of Alicia into a plant-like ghost creature. But before closure could be had, a giant explosion was heard from the Thistle farm, and the team readied themselves for a fight. Coming onto the scene, our adventurers watched as Mr. Thistle got engulfed by his transmutated wife, who appeared to be attached to a corpse flower creature and possessed. Unable to free either of the thistles, our team slayed the monster, and the last words uttered from Grandma Thistle was, "I didn't want this." I had to turn on the camera to see Mike's face, not gonna lie. Uh,
I
so
beta tested Grandma Thistle.
it's true. So for those that don't know, before Mike joined our campaign officially, he was my guinea pig in testing this. So he had a different outcome with Grandma Thistle. So this was all new to him, which I want to see his
No.
reaction. Okay.
No. Now I'm even more traumatized. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for that.
Willow knows that didn't have to be the ending.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Some Sixth Sense.
We just made tea.
No. Now
Did you?
well,
Did you? Well,
yes. So now that we have had our recap, I want to draw our attention away from this incident and towards our new traveling adventurers. We'll pull away from the ascending smoke of the Thistle Farm and take a step back in time. A couple days before, we're on a swaying ship. Crewmates call to one another as they set sights on the western coast of Terrantel. Emerging from the captain's chambers stands a looming gray tabaxi, his fur well groomed and slicked back from a recent groomings. He wears a simple white poet shirt and a heavy navy blue captain's jacket. The seams of the jacket are coming slightly undone from the many buttons that were lost during the captain's quote-unquote zoomy episodes. Despite the many scars that adorn his body from the many victories he's won, Captain Leo holds himself humbly and looks to his crew with pride, a lean striped tail sweeping at his ankles as he orders his men to make preparations to dock on Terrantel. As he commands his men, he turns to look up into the sails where an unaccounted-for figure plays among the masts, and he calls out to your character, Michael. Can you describe for us what your character looks like?
Hanvil, a very, very ruggedly handsome, purple-haired goatee with a tattoo under his eye in runes that say "Music is life," hangs from a rope from the sails, violin in hand, slowly sliding down. He is afraid of heights. So realistically, what he sees is probably 5 feet. Looks a lot more like 15. Fancily dressed and very, very just giddy to be on an adventure again. Been quite a time.
So as you are slowly descending the masts onto the deck, Captain Leo calls out to you, "There be your destination, Sir Hanvil. What are you planning to do on shore?"
Well, first things first, I need to get down. Let's establish. I need
How high are you right now?
5 feet, but it seems like a lot more than this. I need somebody, please.
Do you want
Pick me up.
downsies? Do you want downsies?
I am not a child. Yes.
So Captain Leo reaches
Somebody
out
get
to
me
you,
down.
like takes you under the armpits and just sets you down beside him and gives you like a little head pat.
Just brush myself off. Thank you.
Perhaps you shouldn't be playing up in the masts if you're scared of heights.
Getting up places is not an issue. It's the down part I have issue with.
Do you see a ladder? Then don't go up.
Fair. Anyway, I just don't know how to respond to that. Sound logic.
Okay. So he asks once again, what are you planning to do on Terrantel? So you are from a neighboring continent, Vardenfell. What are you
Yes.
planning to do at Terrantel? Of all
S-
places.
long story short, student came here, came back. He was sick. I don't know with what, but he had like, it's almost like he had drug withdrawals. So I took it upon myself for the betterment of the students, just to make sure there wasn't an outbreak of whatever he's got. All I know is that he was doing like a vocational studies here for music, and I was sent by the school to figure out exactly what happened to him, so it doesn't happen to further students if they come to, over the shore and come to visit Terrantel.
So you were sent by the school? Or is this a voluntary mission in hopes to alleviate what ails your student?
It was voluntold. I want to help my student, but my heart stays at the conservatory.
Okay, then. Well, be warned. Terrantel is a peculiar place. It isn't like Vardenfell. It has more trickery. It seems to be more fey than it is normal. So be warned and be careful. And with that,
I will try.
he goes back to ordering his crew. As we depart from this scene, and the ship known as the Diving Darter begins their preparations to dock, our perspective shifts and races over the various landscapes of Terrantel, and the various biomes and colors start to blur as the scenes race over the rolling hills and vivid grassy meadows. A trudging figure in the far distance below us, their frame hardly distinguishable from the fiery dunes they trudge through now. Their cloak helping them to break against the hot desert winds, but as they climb the final hills of Serpent's Pass, they're met with a drastic change in atmosphere. Almost as suddenly as these deserts had come, so too did they end. Having been beaten by the sun's rays and weakened by the radiating heat coming off the sand, you take your first step on silt and dirt as a misted road ahead of you leads you to the settlement of Foxtrot Village. Mage, would you mind telling us what your character looks like and what they are thinking about in this moment?
So my character is moderately tall, again cloaked with an auburn colored cloak just to protect from the wind and stuff like that. Leaning on a staff as they reach the apex of the last dune. You can hear with the wind some scrolls rattling as they hang from his hip. And he just looks off. His eyes like kind of quiver for a little bit, and it's like, wait a second. Is that real? It's got to be real. I've made it. So it's an elation that he has come across because he's battered, he's bruised from his travels. So he's just looking for a place to rest where he doesn't have to worry about what's behind him.
Great. So these adventures are happening, or these travels are happening simultaneously. So as we return to the present, Hanvil, spry from your recent excursion on the ocean, you are exuberant to get your adventure started. But before you could enter the town of Foxtrot off in the distance, you quite easily outpace a taller humanoid ahead of you, who looks to be shuffling along, heavily relying on a quivering staff in both of his hands. Raven black hair and an auburn cloak. What do you do as you seemingly easily pass this stumbling gentleman?
Sir, are you drunk?
No. No. I'm just exhausted. I've actually got a couple of cuts on my legs that quite hurt.
Oh, but hold on. Okay. Well,
I'm holding on to my staff.
One sec. I'm kind of. There's a long journey on a boat. I'm just gonna catch you up. I'm kind of in a rush, but I'm gonna give him a healing word. Healing word level 1, which is a 1d4 plus 4, just to kind of like heal any wounds that he's got.
Okay, go ahead and roll. I would appreciate it.
Poor souls. What happened to you?
I ran into some aviaries. Avian type creatures. They pecked at me. There were some snakes. There was a large rumble, and the whole ground shook. And I just ran, and I just tried to get away, and I just ended up injuring myself along the way too. Fell off a cliff. That happens to me a lot. So it was quite an adventure.
Okay, I don't know where you're going, but I'm going down this road. I'm gonna heal whatever I can. In this case, it's 5 HP. I rolled a 1. I'm sorry. I rolled a 1. I told you.
All right.
We're rolling bad today.
I'm sorry, is that 3 1s in a row?
No, it's 2 on a D20 and 1 on a D4.
Okay.
It's still 3 1s in a row.
You're not wrong, but I like the way it sounds when it's not a third on a D20.
I'm now over half HP. This is great.
So, Mage, you are both suffering from low HP as well as exhaustion, but I'm pretty sure that helping with the HP, although very generous of Hanvil, won't negate the exhaustion that you have. I believe it's either after eating something or having a long rest
Yeah.
that your exhaustion goes away, but it's still helpful to have the HP.
So in this case, do you have water? Do you need water?
I would listen. I would love to have some water.
I
My
have
water moccasin broke when I fell off the cliff.
just here.
It was
You
very
hold on.
sad.
You can have some here, and I just offer him some of my water skin.
You're very kind. You said you
And
just got off of a ship.
yes, I come from Vardenfell. I'm here because one of my students got sick, but you look like you're in need of more attention at this current moment. Do you know of any tavern or someplace we can get you patched up?
Listen, I'm trying to avoid attention, but apparently I'm messing that up. I just got here. I come from the Masa Kingdom.
Would I
Um,
know that? Can I do a history check to know if I know that?
Do a history check. You were born in Vardenfell, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, other
So,
than
yeah,
and
yeah, roll a
like
history
it's
check for me.
I hope we can keep that. It's a 19 plus 6, so that's a 25.
Okay. So you would know what the Maza Kingdom is. Although Vardenfell is separate from Terrantel, you still need to know, your global studies. So while studying at your prestigious school, they mentioned that there are various territories on Terrantel. And one of which is called the Maza Kingdom, where the more elemental and magical people and humanoids live. The Genasi, that is their residential settlement area, and it is in the southwest portion of Terrantel. So if he's mentioning that he's from the Maza Kingdom, he's traveled a great distance to get here.
How many days have you been okay, so I apologize. This is completely unlike me. Hi, I'm Hanvil. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Venn, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for uh, giving me your water and healing me. It's welcoming to have a stranger be so kind.
Is that not common in Terrantel? Vattenfell, if there's somebody in need, we generally try to help them.
Well, it's not always guaranteed here.
And as you guys continue to trudge along the path, you look ahead of you and you see the settlement of Foxtrot Village in a little patch of mist, a little superstitious. But off to the left, you see a huge plume of smoke that looks to be a giant fire. So you have two choices right now, either to pursue these flames that could potentially engulf the village, or go to town. What do you choose to do?
Anvil, do you see that smoke off in the distance? I believe I see embers coming from there.
Yeah, that is rather concerning.
Have you ever heard of out of the frying pan and into the fire?
Yeah, my concern is are you up for it? Because if we
Oh,
go in
I'm up.
here,
No. And he shifts himself up a little bit more steadily on his feet. It's like, no, I'm up for it.
my lad. Okay, well, on the way, and I'm just gonna Hanvil just hands him rations because I have a day's worth of rations. Eat this on the way. You need to regain your strength. We're gonna go in. It's probably gonna get ugly.
You're just tossing portions as he's running into them. Ow, ow.
Yeah, Hanvil doesn't know of wanting.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys race towards the smoke, and as you do so, the camera above you pans away from you, scouring over the ever-expanding fields of the Lapsusberry treetops, eventually landing with our characters, Willow and Aelin, which of whom have just vanquished the corpse flower inside the Thistle residence. I need you both to give me a perception check. Or perception checks, I should say. And at this time, I'm going to say that Weejub and Navi are talking amongst themselves, and they bid you both goodbye and talk about hopefully getting in touch with one another in the future. But for now, they're going to leave Foxtrot with the information that they've gathered. As Weejub is a Genasi, he will be traveling back to his home in the Maza Kingdom to report what trickery and manipulation happened here, and hopefully something will come of that in the future.
That is going to be a 16 from Aelin.
Great.
19.
Perfect. Okay. So you've just vanquished Grandma Thistle and the corpse flower. She's just said to you, Willow, that she did not want any of this, but what does that mean? You're lost in thought, and through the broken ceiling of the house, you start to see the rays of morning light. This battle had continued on into the night, shine in on the massacre that happened, and noticing this protruding light, you suddenly realize that with the death of Grandma Thistle and the corpse flower, the flames behind her also went away. They started to pull back into the earth until all you could see was a veil of gray smoke. And as the burning embers of the fire start to go out and seep back into the caldera that is now in front of you, you notice the body of the corpse flower begin to expand as the acid and gases inside the rotting body start to tear at the skin until, boom, it explodes. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Willow got 13.
Okay?
I got a 3.
Oh no!
Okay, so
No.
okay, so Willow, you will be taking 2d4 poison damage, and Aelin, you'll be taking 3d4. So let's see.
Right.
1 second. As a halfling, I have poison damage resistance. Will that have?
That will have it. Okay,
Okay.
so you only take 1 point of poison damage, and then for Aelin,
Good. Oh, good.
for
Oh
Aelin-
no.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, so 6 points of poison damage.
Okay.
Okay. But after the initial shock and wave of this putrid smell, you realize that you now cannot smell anything else. Or you can't smell the stench anymore. You've almost become immune to it. And you will have this immunity for 24 hours. So you can be around the body and not need to worry about making con saving throws. After that explosion, what would you guys like to do?
God, Willow doesn't know what to do. Willow's gonna just kind of stare.
Willow's gonna be in a fetal position, just kind of rocking back and forth.
Oh God. Yeah, she's just kind of staring at the body. So Willow's just eyes wide, traumatized look on her face. She looks up at Aelin and just stares at her with these big wide eyes.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know what to do.
Aelin is not good at comforting people in general. So she sees this and also panics a little bit because she has no idea what to do.
Aelin, can you give me an animal handling check real quick?
Yes.
As you and Willow are just staring at each other in complete disbelief, at your ankles, you see your cute little microgriffin Tempest start pulling at your legs and your boots, trying to move you over towards the kitchen. And he's just like chirping at you.
I got a 17 on that animal handling check.
Great. So you can either choose to like pick Tempest up and just try to calm him, or you can follow him.
So I think I will start heading in the direction that he is prodding me towards, but I'll kind of like reach down and offer my arm and let him climb up onto my shoulder where he usually sits, so that he doesn't have to waddle all the way in there.
And he just kind of like hangs on your forearm and is doing a bird purr and is just kind of like,
Mhm.
and his eyes are
bird purr.
his eyes are fixated on the stove.
I kind of, before I walk into the kitchen, I kind of like reach down and like just like give like a reassuring like shoulder touch to Willow, because like I don't know what else to do. And then I just kind of like walk towards the stove, and I'll go ahead and take a look at that.
Okay. So give me an investigation check. And as you're doing that, Hanvil and Venn, you guys come onto scene, and this is what you see. just right off the bat. Hanvil and Venn. With a house coming into view, you see billowing gray smoke ascend into the sky and from the rear end of the house. The front of the house remains intact, with various rose bushes lining the infrastructure of the home, and various windows of the front-facing rooms remain ajar, allowing you to peer inside at the once complete home. Peeking out from the backyard, a stone-framed glass house stands fully functional, untouched by the flames that engulfed the northwest part of the home. From the glass house, you see various vegetation inside, colorful flowers and blooms adorning the wild plants inside. What would you like to do?
I would like to see if there's a point of where like we should focus our attention to most. So that would just be, I believe, a simple perception check.
Rephrase that for me. You're trying to focus on, I'm
Oh,
guessing, the fire?
Anything
Okay.
that we have to do within like a short amount of time. Like it's a first action, quick response feeling as we come upon the scene.
Okay, so then I feel as though you would probably go into the house to try and figure
Okay.
out if there's anyone inside.
Absolutely.
For that, do a perception check.
So that would be just a 13.
Okay, so that'd be a 13 for you. Hanvil, what do you want to do?
Hanvil wants to do a perception check just to see if there's anybody outside of the fire. Not necessarily like anybody that would have seen what potentially happened.
So outside or inside the home?
Not inside, outside, like in the forest, surrounding forest.
Okay.
Because again, like Hanvil going up doesn't know what's going on. He wants to see if anybody's running away from the scene.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
It was an investigation, I guess.
It's perception. You could do investigation.
Well, if it's investigation, it's an 8. If it's perception, it's a 6. We rolled a 2.
Your dice
It's
are
not-
not happy
I told
today.
you.
Hey, whoa, it's not a 1. It's not
Yeah.
a 1.
It's
We're
true.
making progress.
Okay, so we're gonna
Little
hold
bit
that
surely.
real quick. Aelin, as you are going over to investigate the kitchen, you see this human man come in and is just excavating, just looking around, and it seems a bit panicked of like, there's a fire! What do you do?
So I immediately like just reflexively like kind of draw my sword a little bit because like I have no idea what's going on. And I turn to you and I say, "What are you doing? Can I help you?"
Oh, hey. What? Are you okay? Are you
Okay.
hurt?
I don't know if
I-
okay is the word I would use, but I'm alive.
While Willow's in the
All right.
fetal position over there.
Willow's just crying in the corner.
Well, that is a step above dead. So, what happened
Indeed.
here? Is there anything that I can do to help?
Well, the threat has been taken care of. The fire seems to be going out. So, if you could help my friend over there, I'm not very good at comforting. I don't know if you're better at that than I am.
I could try. What is your friend's name?
Willow.
Well, and yours?
My name is Aelin, and yours?
Venn.
Nice to meet you,
Um,
then.
Yes. And is Hanvil coming in behind?
And I kind of just like put Tempest back on the ground, like.
And
What?
Tempest is just like doing like a little waddle in front of you. Venn just kind of like wanting to get your attention, like, excuse me, I'm also here. Introduce yourself to me.
Oh, hello, little creature.
This is Tempest, my griffin. He likes head pats, but please don't touch his wings. They're very sensitive.
And like Tempest like
Oh.
tucks his wings away and like just like presents his head.
Trust me, little one. I know how sacred wings can be. I will give 3 head pats if that's okay.
Tempest
Yeah.
is elated and then goes off and runs towards the kitchen. Willow, is there anything else you want to do, or are you just gonna?
Last time we played, Grandma Thistle made that lapis berry pie.
Yes.
I believe it was. Did she have the recipe written down?
You could do an investigation check. It might be in the kitchen.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
want me to do
maybe
that now or wait
we-
until my turn?
Let's roll initiative, only so we can try and get through these investigations in an orderly fashion. So let me know what your rolls are.
14.
I also got a 14.
Okay, so who
yeah.
has the highest wisdom?
I have
16.
a 14. So you beat me in wisdom.
Okay.
Willow also got 13.
Oh, I rolled a 13, so I get a 16.
Oh,
Okay.
phew.
Oh.
We're all just doing wisdom competition here.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Okay, so with that being said,
One big brain off.
Venn, you are first. Are you on your way to go comfort this trembling little halfling?
I am. I
Okay.
am. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to attempt a persuasion to see if I can calm? Because they're still in like fetal position, quivering and possibly like crying, right?
What is Willow doing?
Yeah, Willow will say she's in the fetal position, but she's not crying. She looks more like shocked. So her eyes are just really wide, and she doesn't really seem to be aware of her surroundings.
Oh, little Willow, hey, hi.
Willow just slowly turns her head and just looks at you and goes, I need to find the recipe
Oh, recipe. Oh, in for what?
for the pie. Grandma Thistle's pie. I need to get the recipe.
Well, we should definitely get it. It might catch fire. You never know.
Oh God. And then Willow like jumps up. Like moved out of stunned silence. So do I do an investigation to see if I can find it?
Yes, do an investigation check.
I will assist.
Oh,
God.
okay. So do that with advantage. We're going to move on
thank
to
God.
Hanvil. So keep the roll. Hanvil, you are looking outside and you rolled 10?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
An 8.
Well, no.
You rolled an
It was
8.
an 8.
Don't lie. Yeah.
It was an 8 if
I
it was
wrote it down.
No, it was a 6 if it was perception. It was an 8 if it was investigation.
Well, regardless.
Which one do you want it to be?
I'm not gonna see anything anyways. It's so low.
So with that, we'll go with the 8. Doing investigation, you don't see anyone running from the scene, but you do see human footprints as though they were trying to run away. And you see these slithering indents in the ground and dirt. There's no residue, no ooze or anything, but you see just these slithering tracks, but there's nothing there.
While I was scanning the trees, going to be making my way towards the greenhouse in case somebody was hiding in there.
Great. Okay, so what you notice is that here in the very front, you see the slithering indentations of what could be snakes, but they aren't there anymore. And then at the very front part where you had probably walked, you saw multiple footprints look as though someone took a really quick heel turn and bolted away from the fire. So no footprints necessarily going inside and then running out, but it's as though people had come, saw the extent of the flame, and ran out of fear. Aelin, you did an investigation check in the kitchen, correct?
Yes, and I got a dirty 20.
Ooh, beautiful. The kitchen has a gray discoloration to it, most likely from the smoke of the fire, but none of the pots and pans or stove have been damaged. You take a closer look at the stove and notice that the items on there are partially cooked, as though the process was interrupted. You attempt to turn on the stove, but there is no light. You close your eyes and focus your senses. You take a slow, controlled breath and realize that the stench of the corpse flower is not the only gas you smell. Looking back to the gaping hole, the deteriorating hole that now rests in the center of the living room, you realize that not only are those vines penetrating deep into the earth, but upon their emergence during the battle last night, they severed the gas pipelines, and this place is a ticking time bomb with the simplest of igniting flames ready to set it off.
Oh, good.
Tempest is hitting his wings against the stove, like making sure that you notice that this is happening.
Yeah, so I reach down and just like stop him from doing that. Like, yeah, homie, I see that. Thank you.
Then he tucks his wings in and does like a solid nod of I am proud of myself. And then he has his like wings up for uppies.
And I pick him up. I cannot deny that.
Great.
So I'm just kind of like holding him in my arms. So like with that information, who else is in the kitchen with me? Willow's in the kitchen with me, right?
And I
Or
believe
she was
Venn is also there.
Venn. So I turn to both Venn and Willow and I'm like, we need to figure out what's going on here and then get out. We are in massive amounts of danger staying here. And I relay the information to them about the gas.
Willow, you are also in the kitchen. Would you like to do your you already did your investigation check. What was the roll?
18.
18. Awesome. So you see on the countertop, separate from the stove, there is this old-fashioned wooden box / chest. And when you open it, it has all these handwritten recipes on it, and you thrum through it, and you see one that is highlighted almost with the juice of a lapis berry, so it remains distinct from the rest. And you pull it out, and you have the recipe for lapis berry pie.
So then with that, I guess I'm just going to turn back to Aelin and Venn and just be like, there's nothing else here.
You think?
Give
I'm
me
completely unaware of like a.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what's going on.
give me an Arcana check, everyone.
Including me? I'm like behind the blast radius.
You can give me an Arcana check, but where you are, there is. I wouldn't say that there's much there. You can roll one if you'd like.
It was a 14.
It was a 14. Okay,
I also got a 14.
great.
Willow got a 7.
And Ben got a 17.
For Maddie specifically,
Mhm.
you don't sense anything super magical. Obviously, everything that happened last night, the vines and everything, are causing this whole scene to just seem like a blur to you. So, trying to find anything that could be of use to you or anything particular, it's hard to hone in on a certain spot. There's vines protruding from the living room, there's ones coming from the bedroom, there's a little bit in front of you. It's hard to depict any one source of magical aura. But for Venn and Willow, you look over to the vines that are in the living room, and they don't look active, but they also continue to pulse with a slow heartbeat, causing small movement among the cluster of vines. You get the hunch that although alive, they are in a dormant state. Potentially agitating them could lead to a sticky situation. But as you carefully trek along the edges of these vines, you notice the fireplace off to the right-hand side of the house, scorched by the flames of the fire that happened last night, but it strikes you as odd that the fireplace itself remains intact, and you get a ping of good magical energy amongst everything else in the house from that fireplace.
Hey Willow, this house is kind of creepy. Is this yours?
No, that would be Grandma Thistle's house. She's dead now. I don't know whose
Oh,
house
I'm sorry to
this
hear
is.
that.
Yeah, thanks. Are you picking up
Or not.
anything other than
I-
creepy vibes?
The plants, yes. But I don't know. That fireplace just seems so warm and welcoming.
Yeah, it used to be.
That got so dark.
Oh my
Used to be home.
god! Oh my god.
Me.
Okay.
I'm blissfully unaware of previous encounter.
Should we go over there?
Oh,
I'll follow
yes.
you.
Do you want to strike it up again?
Oh, I've kind of done with fire,
Okay.
but if you want to look at it, I'll come with you. Maybe there's some more souvenirs or pieces of the family that I can take home with me.
Yeah, we should do that for you so you can begin your grieving process. I'm so sorry about your grandma.
Yep, thank you.
Then, as you get closer to the corpse flower, I need you to make a con save for me.
Oh, good thing I've got a lot.
I
So
healed him.
yeah. Well, hey.
Oh
that is
no! Oh no!
That is a natural 20, so it's a 24. However,
Hey!
Okay.
Let's go for
exhaustion
20.
exhaustion level 1, I get disadvantage on ability checks, and this is an ability check.
It is.
Wait.
Oh.
No, because on the way there I gave you food, so you shouldn't be
requ-
exhausted.
Requires a long rest after having water.
Oh man.
Yeah.
She took a nap.
You take a nap. I'll be back.
Okay, what's the worst of that?
nap
Have
Just
you
carry me
have
there.
you had a nap today? No, you
I
need
didn't.
one.
All right. So, I have a natural 20 and I have a dirty 20. So I got.
Oh,
You are rolling
Solid.
immaculate. That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, as you get closer to this rotting body that you're not familiar with, this smell kind of comes over you, and it hits your nostrils and stings a little bit. But you wave it away and continue over with Willow to this fireplace.
Oh, this is disgusting.
Willow's like avoiding looking at anything but the fireplace.
Just fixating. It's like nothing else happened here. Hanvil, you also rolled an Arcana check way back when, and you got a 14.
Oh no, I got 16. It was an 8 plus 8. I was looking at deception.
Holy crap, what are your stats? Okay, 16. So you are by the greenhouse now, right?
Mm-hmm.
This
I'm
whole
like standing at the
place
door.
is emanating with magical energy. And from the outside, it just seems to be seeping out of the cracks of the stone infrastructure. Going inside, you would be overwhelmed with what potential magical knowledge is in there. But at this moment, you get a strong ping of magical aura from inside.
The greenhouse or the house?
The greenhouse.
Oh.
Venn and Willow, you guys are kind of tied together. You're next. You guys are investigating the fireplace?
Yes.
So you can do another Arcana check if you'd like, or investigation.
Ooh, Arcana is better for me.
Great.
I don't know what young Willow is going to be doing.
21 investigation.
And that was a 14 Arcana.
So Venn, you notice that the scorched wood from the fire that happened before you even arrived, that engulfed the entirety of the living room, appear to have formed separately from the fireplace. Possibly an ember had leaped out and caught fire to a rug or something. But simultaneously, you notice on the stone banister of the fireplace, an unscathed note sits, sealed with a green wax seal, the emblem of Terrantel University carved on the front. Willow, you also notice this note. But even more intriguing, it appears to you that there is a translucent and reflective layer protecting the letter. Every now and then you notice a sheen of green glitter streak across the top. You recognize this to be an advanced spell known as the Symbol spell, but something about it is different. It's been altered. So for those that don't know the Symbol spell is a higher level spell, and it can be customized pretty uniquely depending on the spellcaster. They can have it be that only one person specifically can pick it up, open it, and hold it, or they can create the spell so that it repels other creatures from opening it, and only a certain race can open it. Hags can't open it if they choose to create this symbol spell so fine-tuned. The symbol spell requires either a certain user to possess, hold, and open it, or for someone to utter a password to alleviate this spell without harm being done onto the person. So Willow, you see that seal, that glistening protective layer, but then you do not. You just see a letter unopened on the banister of this stone fireplace.
Okay. Because Willow sees that and she wants the letter, but it's looking a little sus, she's going to cast a spell, Alter Self. And one of the things I can do with Alter Self is I can change my appearance. I'm going to change my appearance into Alicia, except for I can't change my size. So I'm basically a child version of Alicia.
You can chibi Alicia.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at Venn and I'm going to be like, can you pick me up so I can grab that?
So right now, I was tracing my hand over the scorch marks, trying to figure everything out. And you were doing that off to the side. I was like, oh,
something
Willow?
changed.
Yes, this is me.
You're Willow height, but you're not Willow.
I'm doing this just for an experiment. I can't reach. Will you please pick me up? I need to touch the envelope.
Okay, I'll set my staff off to the side. I will use both hands for uppies.
For uppies?
So many uppies.
All
the uppies.
Yep.
I was gonna say, and I'll lift you up so you can easily reach it.
Okay.
So, Willow, are you able to read Elvish?
Oh, I think so. Let me triple check.
You can also do...
Yes.
Okay, great. So, I need you to make a wisdom check. Because you have it in your hand, but it's not opening to you. There's something else that needs to be done.
Well, that's silly. I only got 12. The Willow's frustrated. That's not opening, and she casts a spell to look like her friend for it to magically open.
Would
My
it
spell
be-
slot.
Spell slot.
My spell slot. Could I possibly assist Willow in this?
Sure. How would you... Describe how you would assist Willow in investigating this letter.
I also know Elvish.
Okay.
Hmm.
You can also make a
So
wisdom check if you would like, or you can have Willow roll at advantage one more time.
I just like the idea of Venn holding up Willow and then like peering over
No,
Like,
over
what
the
is the
shoulder.
envelope?
Like,
here's the thing. That's exactly no. You are correct. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. And despite it being more calculable advantage, I would like to like whisper like just a little hint on this to Willow to give them advantage so they can attempt to reroll.
Okay, so quick question. Am I trying to read, is the password on the envelope and I'm trying to read that? Or am I just trying to
Yes.
make out whatever it is? Okay.
So the symbol spell, when it's casted by the user, there is a wisdom check that you have to beat in order to find the hidden password. So that's what you're looking for right now. You can hold the letter. You can try and give the letter to Venn if you want to see what would have happened. You successfully overcame one of the obstacles, but this other one is something that you need to break the spell. You've been able to kind of like tiptoe around it, but this will take off the seal completely.
Okay, gotcha. So Willow's gonna narrow her eyes and like really, really, really focus in on that. I got 14.
That's just it.
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
I was
let's
like, no
go.
way.
Thank
Blessed.
God. Okay. So, as the shimmering crosses the note once more, you notice as the light hits it just right, inscribed above the Terrantel crest, the words say, "I wish to see you." Do you repeat these words out loud?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm picturing that Venn tilted me and we like tilted together and that's how the light just shone perfectly on the little envelope. Offering so much
Glimmer of
help. Like, there we
smoke,
go.
a
Get the lighting right.
Small beam of light shoots through like the
Yeah,
hole.
from the like hole in the roof. Like, oh, maybe there's not enough lighting for you to see. Let me just tilt you.
I think at this moment, Aelin like peeks out from the kitchen and just has like a look of utter concern and confusion. Like, what is going on?
Absolutely. Okay, so you don't utter these words out loud, but you see the inscription, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was, "We wish to see you."
I wish to see you. And the words don't stay there. I mean, well, to you, since you were able to pass the wisdom check and you're not saying these words out loud, the shimmering is still on the letter. But now you can see, like with the tilt of the letter, you can see those words now. You don't have to do another wisdom check to find them, but they are there. But this note is still sealed. You cannot open it.
Okay.
Did it work?
Did it work?
No more drastically. No, I think it's too smoky in here. I can't read it.
More to the right.
just starts carrying me around.
Just fly over like a plane.
You know,
I need to open a window.
I'm getting sick. Can I get back down, please?
Oh,
We jumped out a
please,
window.
please. We're gonna go out a window.
We jumped out a window.
No.
Wait, so Hanvil is still just outside, right?
Hanvil's outside. He's in the greenhouse.
Just,
Next is Hanvil. So what are you choosing to do?
Well, the first thing before I open this door, I wanna because it's a greenhouse, I can peer in through the windows. I'm assuming.
Yep, it's a glass
I
house.
want to see if, I want to see if there's, because based on what the last roll was, based on my Arcana check, this thing is borderline radioactive with magic. So I'm just looking to see if I can I do like another perception check just through like looking through the windows to see if there's anything potentially immediately hazardous of me opening the door.
By all means, please do.
Is someone being cautious?
There we go. That's not bad. Well, it's because my rolls haven't been good. Would that be investigation or perception? We were back to back on these.
Either.
So, well, then we're gonna go with the 19, which is
Great.
Yeah.
Surveying this pristine glass house, you notice that within the enclosed space, there's a variety of herbs and plants growing freely within. The glass house looks to be around 10 feet tall, with a sturdy stone infrastructure holding the delicate glass walls in place. Inside, you see in the middle of the room a small wooden desk with various cooking tools and test tubes sprawled on it, various notes scribbled on pieces of paper. But with that roll, and you're outside looking at the various windows, what you may have needed to do an extra investigation check for, but now can see, is a book tucked behind one of the pots. But because everything is glass on the outside, one could see the book. So you see this leather-bound red book tucked behind one of the pots, separate from the loose leaf paper that's on the desk. But everything else just looks like lively plants. Just looks like a thriving greenhouse.
Hanvil's gonna enter the greenhouse, head on a swivel. First thing he's gonna do is he's gonna grab the one journal that we saw that was hidden behind the plot.
What's your AC?
And then AC is
Oh, no.
14. Why? Why?
As you reach for this notebook, this cactus that was guarding the book leans over and bites you for 1d4 piercing damage.
Ouch.
So you get
Set by noted.
2 piercing damage, and it's latched onto you. So you see this like little cactus thing just kind of like pinching your wrist, and he's just latched there. And he just kind of looks at you.
Excuse me. Off. Get off me. Are you protecting the book? Can you commute? Do you understand me? You're a cactus. I'm talking to a cactus.
His eyes squint at you when you mention the notebook.
You have why do you? Who gave you sentient life? What is happening here? What is this at
And he like
all?
starts biting you.
Well, I'm going to the little cactus. Can I do like a what?
If you'd like to detach him from you,
Animal
can
handling?
you can do a nature check or a
Okay.
strength check to see if you can pull him from you or convince him.
We'll go nature check.
okay,
'cause
okay.
We are not strong. We are boy. Excuse me. Being, I'm going to need you to just let go. I mean you no harm. I need to make sure it is dangerous here. That is 12.
Okay, no, you're good. So a nature check, right?
Got a 7. Yeah.
Okay,
7 plus
so
5.
not only are you able to keep him from biting you, so he was chomping on you, but now he's just kind of hanging on you, just kind of staring at you. You're able to identify what kind of creature this is. You peer at this animated cactus and recognize this little creature to be a thistleling, an unaligned creature who seems to be very determined to protect this notebook. And what do you say to it?
Hanvil just like as it hangs from his hand, like Hanvil's hand, you just hey, I understand you're protecting the book, correct? How about this? I'll take you and the book so you can keep watching the book. Is that okay?
Roll a persuasion check.
Look, I don't want to talk about it.
It's not
It was-
today.
Not today.
It is a
Persuasive
15, but
argument.
we rolled a 6. We are rolling real low.
You have
Or
just
no,
remarkable
14.
buffs. My God.
It's that jack all trades. Plus 1 to
Okay,
everything.
14, you said?
Mm.
That's a nat 20. He's not letting go. So you try your best to persuade this little thistleling to let you take the book, but he chomps down on you again for well, he'll try to anyway. Yep, that 15 to hit
Yep.
for another D4 piercing damage. That's 3 extra damage, and he is now going to hug you. So now you have thorns in your side as he's just
big is this
grasping onto you.
Little cactus Hulk.
He, well, you're also a very tiny creature, so
I know.
it's your whole forearm, but it's a little
Okay.
thistling.
Trying to get a familiar little cactus Hulk. I was trying to get a little.
Oh.
I even put in my notes. I was like, cactus friend? Question mark. Probably not.
So
yeah, probably not.
you have this thistling attached to you and the book in the other. So plotting your next move, we're going to move on to Aelin now, who's still in the kitchen. Give me another animal handling check.
Animal handling, that is going to be an 18.
Okay, so you see that as Tempest seemed to be happily resting in your arms, he suddenly just kind of like is wildly like looking around, and he's trying to like smell and sense something, and he wiggles out of your arms and leaps out and does a little spiral like floating down to the
Mhm.
ground because he can't
Mhm.
fly that far yet, and he seems to be a bit oddly cocked, but
He glides. He does his best. What's he doing? His best.
his best. And you see him kind of like thrump over to this room area, and he
Okay.
he just kind of looks into the room and just seems fascinated with something in there.
I'm like, Tempest, where are you? And then I just kind of like follow after him as well.
Going over there, if you would like to look inside, you can, or
Mhm.
you can, with that high investigation, or not investigation, with that high animal handling check, you can try to see what he's looking at.
I will go ahead and take a look in the room myself.
Looking in from the doorway, you peer into this bedroom with only the light from the window to help you, and you see broken floorboards and scattered items from where these gooey vines sprouted from beneath the home and invaded this room. Give an investigation check if you'd like to look further.
Investigation, that is going to be a 17.
Great. Across the broken room, you notice two nightstands framing the splintering hole. On one of the nightstands lies broken plates, old food, and spilled drinks. But on the other, you see some broken plates and pieces of crumpled up paper piled on top of the nightstand, and a beautiful, eloquent quill that is catching the sunlight and causing Tempest to be fascinated by its metal glow. It's shiny. But also,
Mhm.
investigating further, you notice that the crumpled pieces of paper look to be notes and letters that were discarded. But in order to see what they say, you're going to have to do an athletics check to hop over the vines and get inside the room.
That is going to
You
be a
got the-
16.
Beautifully done. You set your stance, ready yourself, bound in through the doorway, using the doorway as a clutch to push yourself off, and you land beautifully beside the vines. Well done. Making sure that when you land not to hit any of the vines, you're clear. You notice that the crumpled pieces of paper have a repeated phrase on them. Peering at the beautiful script, you can make out the repeated phrase, "Return to sender," written on them, but in different fonts. At the bottom of the page, you see that one looks as though it were perfected and near identical to the stamps you'd see at a messenger hawk tower. This perfectly forged signature and stamp is circled in red ink. Give me a history check.
I get to make those with advantage. Let's second go.
Oh, let's second go, bro.
Let's second go. It's still not great by any means. That's gonna be a 10. The other
Okay.
one was a 2, so we're doing great.
So 10, no, nothing added, or is that the final?
No, yeah, it's just 10.
You remember that when you first came to the Thistle residence, I'm going to say, for the sake of storytelling and characters present at this time, that Navi, who had originally done surveillance in Alicia's room before everyone headed out to the Forbidden Forest and the whole catastrophe happened here, they mentioned to you, Aelin, that in Alicia's room, there was a plethora of letters strewn about her room, all with that same stamp, "Return to sender," stamped on all of them. And the address of the letters that Alicia looked to be sending away were to Terrantel University.
Okay.
So, after noticing that, and Tempest just being fascinated with the glinting reflection of metal from the quill, you can choose to do more investigation if you'd like in this room. But if not, we will then move on to Willow and Venn again.
Can I take the quill? I want the quill.
By all means, take the quill. It's
Thank you.
a beautiful. It looks like it is a phoenix feather kind of
Great.
quill. And as you're taking it, Tempest is immediately just like back at your beck and call, just like noticing and just like fixated on this shining reflective metal. So
Wonderful.
awesome. Venn and Willow, what are you guys doing?
Venn is very concerned that Willow might get sick near or around him. So we're gonna try and get away from like whatever's making Willow nauseous.
Wait, so you're still carrying me, but moving me now?
I don't know what to do with you at this point in time. So,
I don't know
like,
what to do with you.
I don't want to let you down because, like, I don't want you to go back in the fetal position. I don't want you to throw up. Also, like, if I have you in front, so like, if for uppies, like, you're not gonna throw up on me. So
Correct.
like, this is the best position for me. So
Keep me at
A tiny
arm's
little
distance.
projectile puke cannon.
So, we're gonna try and find a way out because we have, I believe, explored the fireplace to the best of our abilities, and there was nothing for us in the kitchen. So, yes, I'm gonna try and get Willow outside and get some fresh air.
Great. Okay. So you guys head out into the front yard to get some fresh air. Is there anything that you guys want to do out here? Do you guys want to take another look at the note, or do you wish to just kind of recuperate outside?
Yeah. So Willow was totally lying. Willow wasn't feeling sick. Willow just wanted to get down. So Willow was very upset that Ben has continued to hold her. I carried her outside.
I just heard nauseous. So like, we're gonna nope.
Must have been the fumes.
Amazing.
So now that we're outside, I'm gonna be like, okay. Can I get down now, please? Please?
Yes, absolutely. Please don't get sick on me.
So Willow's down. She's very disgruntled looking. Of course, still looking like her friend, Alicia. And then I guess Willow's just waiting to see if Aelin comes out too, or if there's anyone else out here other than just Willow and Venn.
I will take a cursory glance around, just to see, because this is new surroundings for us, and I want to try and avoid Willow's gaze. So I'm gonna look around.
Avoiding eye contact.
I'm gonna-
Just don't look down. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Great.
So that would be a 12 perception check.
You noticed your friend's gone yet?
You did that.
You just hear Hanvil in the distance. Would you just let go? Don't want to kill you. You're not leaving me many options.
Venn, is there anything specific that you're trying to look for?
No.
This is a general thing. What is your passive perception?
It is a passive is a 13.
Okay. Slightly better. Okay. But you're actively looking. So
Again,
I'm
trying to
gonna
avoid Willow.
I'm going to say that
There's nothing on the ground.
while you are trying to actively like not piss off the little halfling anymore, you look over and you see a very comfortable stump. This one that has a little bit of mushrooms on it, and with your exhaustion, you decide maybe I should give her a little bit of distance. And you head over there and decide to take a seat.
Yes, finally time to rest. And I just like sit the staff down, just kind of like sit back a little bit, not looking in Willow's direction.
As you set your staff down by the little mushroom caps that you see there, you see a little note tucked away, as though it were trying to be hidden. A secret note that has beautiful font and scripture on the front of it.
What is up with all these notes laying around? First the fireplace, now over here. This is just
The
so random.
freaking library.
I feel like the occupant was like a note writing squirrel, and they're just hiding them just all over the place. You go to like.
I so feel bad. I'm the only one at the party that can't read Elvish.
Get wrecked.
So peeking out from underneath these little mushroom caps, you see a single envelope with an intact address written on the front of it. The address reads, Terrantel University, 777 Luna Street, Academy Hall, room 202. Would you like to open it?
But yes, I would like to open it.
Okay, so you open the letter, and within it, the content reads, To whomever it may concern, my name is Alicia Thistle, and I am an accepted participant in the Terrantel University's preliminary challenge. I'm seeking the contact information of an old adventurer by the name of Britson in order to be my advisor for my upcoming education at Terrantel Uni. I heard he had retired from his party, the Forsaken Saints, and was choosing to teach at the university to better educate the next generation of wizards and sorcerers. I understand that this request is normally saved for senior students. However, I'm eager to learn from him and wish to start my wizard's training as soon as possible.
I have heard many tales of his victories and know that he would be the perfect mentor for me. Please let me know how to contact him, and I will cease with my incessant letters to the various towers of Terrantel. I simply wish to contact him. Thank you, Alicia Thistle.
So, Mage, do you want to share this information with the rest of everyone?
What's in the note, man?
The
Tell us.
suspense.
Take me to the grave.
Considering I am the only one out here besides Willow, and again, and I cannot stress this enough, I'm avoiding Willow's gaze and upsetting Willow. At this moment in time, I will keep this to myself because I'm still just kind of like reading it and trying to figure everything out.
Trying to make use of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is there, everyone, that we will be ending today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you had a fantastic time listening to another episode of Jackie's Garden. A lot has been happening. There's a lot of clues after the aftermath of a battle here.
Great. So
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens, and we're only just at the beginning, everyone. Thank you so much to my players, Michael, Mage, Maddie, and Kisla, for joining me at the table today, and I hope you all enjoyed this episode. But as always, Little Sprouts, I hope you have an amazing morning, evening, and night, and we will see you next time. Bye, Sprouts.
Plant yourself where you thrive.